Martell is once again at the center of attention after another tense moment with Melody right after court. This situation has many people talking, and today we are going to go deep into what really happened, what he said, and why so many feel concerned about his behavior. The story begins outside the courthouse, where Martell had just pleaded guilty to harassing communication. Instead of leaving the area and going about his day, he decided to pull up on Melody. This choice has set off a wave of discussion, and it is important to unpack every detail. When Martell approached Melody, he started with comments about her hair and her face, saying things like, "Get your face, get your hair" at the same time, and repeating, "It's over now, it's over now." Melody was not speaking to him, nor was she looking for any kind of confrontation. She was simply walking with Jason, the person many know as her security. According to witnesses, there were no large crowds and no confusion. This was not right outside the courthouse doors but at some distance away, near a parking lot. The quiet setting made Martell's sudden approach even more surprising and alarming. What stands out is the mindset behind Martell's actions. Only moments earlier he had pleaded guilty to harassment. Yet he came straight back to confront the very person he was supposed to leave alone. That shows either a refusal to respect boundaries or a belief that rules do not apply to him. Melody had every reason to think about her safety, and anyone in her position would have done the same, whether by recording, reporting, or calling for help. As the conversation went on, Martell's words became even more troubling. He accused Melody and Jason of secretly being married. He repeated the idea, insisting that Jason was her husband. This was not a small slip of the tongue. He said it as if he truly believed it. Such a statement suggests that Martell has built a picture in his mind that does not match reality. For Melody, hearing someone insist on a false story about her personal life must have been both shocking and disturbing. This is not only about gossip or drama. When someone creates their own version of events and then acts on it, that behavior can be dangerous. It shows a pattern of control and obsession. Melody has been clear that she wants to move on with her life, but Martell's actions show that he may not accept that. It is understandable that she would involve security and continue to report any incidents. Her choices are about protection, not revenge. The situation also brought out strong reactions from people online. Some commenters, often called pick-me supporters by others in the discussion, have tried to blame Melody. They claim she is angry for no reason or that she is stopping Martell from being a father to his children. But the facts are simple. Martell made the choice to drive toward her, stop, and speak to her. Melody did not force the meeting. She was simply walking to her car. Anyone can see that she did not create the scene. When people try to twist these facts, it can be hurtful and dangerous. Imagine being harassed and then having strangers accuse you of causing the problem. That is exactly what is happening to Melody. She is not responsible for Martell's decisions. He alone chose to follow, confront, and speak in a threatening way. Shifting blame only protects bad behavior and discourages others from speaking out when they face similar treatment. It is worth pausing to think about why someone might deny what seems clear. Sometimes people do not want to believe that someone they once liked or admired could act this way. Others may think that because a couple shares children, the person doing harm should always have easy access. But safety and respect come first. Children benefit most when both parents behave responsibly. Ignoring troubling actions does not help the family. In fact, it teaches the wrong lesson. Back at the parking lot, witnesses described the atmosphere as tense. Melody remained calm, recording part of the incident. Jason stayed close, ready to ensure her safety. Martell's focus on her appearance, talking about her face and hair, felt like an attempt to draw her into a personal argument. Repeating, "It's over now," might sound final, but in the moment it came across more like a warning than closure. Words can carry hidden meanings, and in the context of a fresh guilty plea for harassment, these remarks carried extra weight. Then came the claim about a secret marriage. This idea did not appear out of nowhere. In earlier conversations and rumors, there had been talk of Melody dating, but never anything about marriage. To suddenly insist on a wedding that never happened suggests Martell is either misinformed or creating a fantasy. Either way, it is not harmless. Accusing someone of secretly marrying can be used to justify continued interference, as if he has a right to check on her relationships. For many viewers, this raises questions about control and obsession. Control is not only about physical force. It can show up in words, accusations, and the refusal to let someone live freely. When a person repeatedly ignores boundaries, it signals that they see the other person's choices as less important than their own desires. That is what makes this more than a simple argument between ex-partners. Think about the pattern. First, a legal case where Martell pleaded guilty to harassment. Second, a new confrontation only moments later. Third, a statement built on fantasy about a secret marriage. Put together, these details paint a clear picture of ongoing harassment. Each part reinforces the next. The guilty plea confirms past issues. The parking lot approach shows those issues have not stopped. And the marriage claim shows a deep refusal to accept reality. Melody's calm reaction deserves notice. Instead of shouting or escalating the scene, she focused on evidence and safety. Recording, walking away, and later sharing what happened are responsible steps. They protect her and also help others understand the seriousness of the situation. Some people criticize those who document harassment, but documentation is often the only way to prove a pattern when words are denied later. The public response has been mixed, and that is part of the story. Many people fully support Melody and understand the danger. Others question her motives or downplay the risk. This split reveals how society often treats harassment. Some believe it only counts if it is violent or dramatic. But harassment is also about repeated unwanted contact, pressure, and fear. It does not need to turn violent to be real and harmful. It is also important to talk about the emotional side. Being followed or confronted after court can cause lasting stress. Each unexpected meeting forces the person to stay alert. Everyday activities like walking to a car or running errands can start to feel unsafe. Over time, that stress can affect health, mood, and relationships. Melody's decision to have security and to speak out is part of protecting her well-being. For those who wonder why she continues to report, the answer is clear. Reporting is not about revenge. It is about creating a record and stopping behavior before it gets worse. Every time Martell approaches or speaks in a threatening way, it proves why reporting matters. Ignoring it would only invite more risk. People who have faced harassment know how quickly small incidents can build into bigger ones. The idea that Melody is somehow keeping Martell from his children is another misunderstanding. Parenting and harassment are two different issues. A parent can see their children without confronting or threatening the other parent. Courts and agreements exist to support that. When someone breaks those boundaries, it is not co-parenting, it is harassment. Blaming Melody for setting limits confuses the issue and protects the wrong person. This story is also a reminder to everyone watching: believe people when they describe harassment. It is easy to judge from a distance, but only those present know the fear of an unexpected approach or a stranger insisting on a false story. Supporting victims means listening, respecting their choices, and refusing to shift blame. Martell's claim that Melody and Jason are secretly married also shows how rumors can spiral. He may have heard fragments of talk and turned them into a full story. But spreading that idea, and acting on it, harms real people. It can damage reputations, create stress, and justify more unwanted contact. That is why Melody and Jason were both surprised and concerned to hear that and the larger picture. This case shows how important legal follow-up is. A guilty plea is not the end if the behavior continues. Courts can order distance, but the person must still choose to obey. When someone breaks those rules, new action is needed. The law is there to protect, but it depends on evidence and reporting. That is exactly why Melody's careful documentation matters. For anyone who might face something similar, there are lessons here. First, trust your sense of safety. If someone approaches you against your wishes, take it seriously. Second, keep records, video, photos, or written notes. Third, use the legal tools available, from restraining orders to police reports. These steps are not overreactions, they are basic protections. As this story continues, many hope Martell will accept responsibility and change his actions. Change is always possible, but it starts with honesty. Denying guilt, creating stories about secret marriages, and approaching someone after court all point the other way. Until real change happens, Melody's careful and steady response remains the wisest path. To sum up, Martell's parking lot approach, his repeated comments about Melody's appearance, his "it's over now" remarks, and the startling claim about a secret marriage form one connected picture. This is not about a single misunderstanding. It is about ongoing harassment even after a court decision. The facts show a pattern, and the safest response is exactly what Melody is doing. Staying alert, reporting each event, and refusing to be drawn into arguments. The public can also play a role. Sharing correct information, supporting those who speak out, and rejecting victim-blaming comments make a difference. Each person who understands the seriousness of harassment helps create a safer environment, both online and offline. Martell still has choices to make. He can keep repeating harmful actions, or he can step back, follow the law, and focus on healthy parenting. The path forward depends on those choices. For now, the key point is clear: Melody has the right to safety and peace. No one should face harassment, especially after a legal case meant to stop it. This situation is more than just celebrity news or court drama. It is a real example of how harassment works, how it can continue even after legal action, and how strong, steady responses protect people. By understanding these events and refusing to excuse bad behavior, we help create a culture where everyone can live free from fear.